entertainment, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Goff. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The throw on 2nd down is gone. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Goff now looks to throw. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do up. Hard ball.
They're going to go for it. It's gone. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And a flag out right away, and I believe our day will begin with a 1st and 15. Last year, the Dolphins were the second most penalized team in the NFL, nearly 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. They'll run here with Balaj. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Balaj. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Room here to run. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Gurley looking for a repeat of his 2017 performance. He's off to a good start as the Rams come up 1st and 10. Now Goff on first down. Looking deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on third. Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And out come the Dolphins now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A good pickup there, a 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hot! Hot!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. After the interception, here's Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that.
Tiger! Super! Two! 11!
Here's Goff now on second down. Flushed out right. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Super 1.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now Balaj, and he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. And he finds Stills, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Patriot!
They run it with Balaj. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
26, Mike.
He'll look to throw. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
76, tell him. 76, 76, 17, 17, 17. 2 up. 11, 11, 5, 5. Now,
from the gun, here's Goff. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now here come the Dolphins. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. First of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll run it here. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And some room to maneuver. Got some real estate inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. On the left side, this is Stills. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And his kick is good. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Drake, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Leopard! Leopard!
They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Chandler, the intended receiver, and that takes us from second to third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a first down throw, gone. And he's taken down, back at his own 7.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey. Whoa!
Now Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is gone. And it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll set up a throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this is going to be incomplete. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
17. 17.
A shotgun snap for gone. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Now it's gone. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. No problem for the Steelers. They have opened that lead up a bit further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Drake. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ramik Wilson able to run him down for a loss of a yard. And for the defense, their third sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
The Dolphins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's complete. Stills. And he's got this down to the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Stills bringing it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Stills the intended target.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, Don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Super one. Merlin.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
76.
And the blitz does come. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be fielded at the 17. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Parker the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now back to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for L.A., their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll head back